welcome to Figure It Out. Today's going to be a bit different. I won't be painting today. Instead, I was asked by a commenter how I made my base plates. So this video, I'm going to show you how I design my base plates in Krita. Also show you how I get my designs onto some felt. This is just an experiment. This is the first time I've done it this way. So you get to see how it goes and if I succeed or not. If you like this video and you want me to do more of them, please comment down below and let me know what information you would like. And I hopefully will be able to do more of these videos in between the just straight up painting. Also, if you'd like to like and subscribe, that would be really helpful to help me grow my channel. Let's get stuck into it. So first, I make sure my printer's on. Yes, I have made the mistake of trying it when it's off. It doesn't work, surprisingly enough. I then take this border I've made out of an old base plate and I stick it in where it says for the A4 paper. I take my bases and place them onto the scanning. I scan it in with my printer's scanning utility tool and I scan it in as a JPEG photo. The reason I use the A4 frame is I found that my scanner will crop the picture down if it thinks that it's taking up too much space, whereas I need it to be an A4 size so that I can keep the scale when I take it into the program. Okay, so once that's all scanned into my computer and is a JPEG file, I will open up Krita, which is a free drawing software. I use it to design, well, everything. I often use a mix between Krita and Canva, but I tend to lean towards Krita way more than Canva. So I've never done screen recording before, so just bear with me while I set this up, and hopefully I'll be able to show you properly through a screen record. Otherwise, I'm going to have to record it this way, and I don't see that working very well. Okay, bear with me. Okay, I've just opened Krita, and it's asking me to basically select a new file. So I'll select a new file. From here, I will go into A4 600 ppi. This way I know that this is an A4 piece of paper. Now, I need to bring in that JPEG. Insert as a new layer. Use the transform tool. Shift, right click, and that pulls it it keeps it locked, it keeps the scale locked. Otherwise, if you just do it like this, okay, Control Z. And as you can see, I have now got that to be the same size, just a little bit bigger. Let's, hang on. So there, it's just that tiny bit bigger, and that won't make a difference at all. Okay, from here, I'll put an empty layer here. I'll just put that on top now. Just go around. And again, it's not a huge deal if it's a little bit out. Okay, now that gives me the outline for the bases. I can basically now just turn off that base image, and that's the areas that I have to work with. Now, I tend to like to work on a black background, as I like to put it onto black felt. I can actually turn the black off when I'm done, but we better get this set up. So I've done that. I'll go back into here. Might make them white. These aren't all that important. They're just there to give us a guideline of whereabouts we are. So turn back on the background, and now we have those lines. Deselect. So something I like to do is go through internet images, preferably PNG images. So this one is for Predator. I preferably want something that has no background. So once I've found that, whatever image it is I want, I'll grab it, I'll bring it in, insert as a new layer. Hopefully, oh, there it is, right up there. Bring that down. We'll make it pretty big. I'm slowly moving towards bases with more textures rather than pictures and stuff. So let's go into a different layer. There we go. It's now looking a lot nicer. Okay, so I know I want that there. Okay, so I'm also going to need my logo. Leave it as. Okay, insert as a new layer. Shift, size, bring it down. Sit down somewhere. Now I will also need, as I like to give credit to the people who sculpted, obviously. So from now, I will now look for my Zez Studios, insert a new layer. Okay. Now, I do not want all this blue around the Zez Studios. Instead, what I'll do is I'll pick the select color, like that. So it's picked that out. I will now select, invert the selection and delete. Wait. Okay. For the sake of this, I'm going to lock the other layers. So that layer is the only one I am dealing with. I'm going to click that. I am going to go select, invert selection, delete. Okay, so I've still got that. From here, I will deselect, grab the square, select it, go. So that gets rid of anything there, and we're just left with this. And I actually don't like that. So let's go back. I like to hit my threshold higher. Okay. So I've gone, if you have trouble getting the outlines when you select, drawing your threshold is a good way to do that. I've got it where I want it there. Again, so I'll select, invert selection, hit delete, that gets rid of all of that. Select, deselect. Go and grab the square selection. And no. We'll go from here. That's gone. Select. Deselect from here. I can grab and bring in that. Okay, so from here it's a matter of what do I want the background to be. Okay, so let's search jungle fern here. Okay, so I found a image of a fern. Increase this. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty good. I might copy this layer. I'm going to flip it. Copy it again. How does that look? Probably looks a bit stupid, eh? Okay, I don't mind that too much, but I have to make sure that the logos are above. So just drag them up above everything else. You can also use these arrows underneath and just push them up. So now it's all on top of the... I usually like to add things like text. keep the text very, very simplistic. It is simply there to give information. Okay, so come in. Go over to transform. I want it a little bit bigger. And I'll place it just above. And here, I'll now merge with the layer below. And that means when I pick this up, it stays with it. I'm going to do that same thing. Find Zez, okay. Add a text bar. Might actually take this over here. Just so they're of a similar size. That'd be about right. While I'm at it, I'm going to make the Zaz a bit bigger too, so it kind of matches with the size of the sculpt. So bring that down, top of it says there, merge with layer below, bang, they're the same thing now. Let's take a look at the full picture. Predator up a bit higher. So I tend to do everything just by eye. What I want to do is I want to add another paint layer underneath those, but above the jungle pieces. I'm gonna go overlay. I'm going to, with the airbrush soft, grab ourselves a green. I reckon a nice darkish kind of green would be good. Could be wrong, we'll find out. Okay, so I've gone with overlay, but I don't know how. Here we go, look at that. Oh yeah. I like that. I mean, it didn't get rid of these whites in here, but I'm actually thinking that I want to make this Zez, I don't know, a little more visible. Let's find the Zez. We will go with, but this time we're going to grow it. That'll grab all of it. From there, I'm going to add a new layer below it. I am going to grab, doesn't really matter, this one, basic, very basic. Grab some, it could be white, but in this case, I think I might just go some yellow. See how yellow does. And then, yellow's nice, but I think we can, that's a little nicer. Wonder how it'd go if we went to something a bit more neutral. Yeah, I don't like that at all. There we go. Gives it a bit of a blend. Yes, I like that. So what I'm going to do is this here, sit at the top. And go. Merge with layer below. Merge with layer below. Now I should be able to make a copy of that. Like this. I can move it down here. And then let's resize it for that base. Just like that. Okay, might turn that off, turn that off. So that there is ready for me to send it off to have it put on a direct film transfer, which I can now lay onto felt, or I can leave the background on it and I can send that to my local store that does printing, whether it's photo printing or whatever, and I can have it printed onto some 300 GSM matte card, which I then glue onto the base and then add a 1K clear over that, usually 4 to 3, 4, 5 layers. If you're doing it for someone else, you would do a few layers. You would sand it back flat with a good 400 or 600 grit wet sand. You'd then layer some more layers over it until it was quite flat. You can actually do it until you don't notice the bump of the card, but it is a lot of clear and a lot of work. I'm currently actually waiting on my first order for the direct-to-film, so I'm hoping that works. But that is the basic process of how I design my base plates. Now, I'll be able to just stick with them being oversized like that. I'm able to resize as necessary if the scale wasn't quite right. But I will save these. So we'll go File, Save As, and we'll save them as a PNG file. I tend to save them with both a black background and a clear background, as I have no idea which one I will use at any one time. And that is it. That is how I design my base plates. Now, I'm no expert in Krita or, well, any computer software, to be honest. I'm horrible with it. I don't understand what I'm doing most of the time. I just bumble through it. Obviously, the more you bumble through it, the better you get. So I just keep going. But I hope that this can help you or inspire you to make your own base plates for your own models. I also wanted to show some other variations of base plates that I have gone through, and you might find them to be easier or better suited to your needs. First of all, there is just plain old black felt. It's the easiest, nicest, and again, like, I can put it on there and it doesn't scratch. That's why I like it. From there, I tried to do acid etching. I really liked that version, but it is messy, and I did screw up once and accidentally made mustard gas. So that was not fun. After that, I tried to print on stickers and stick that to aluminium and then stick that to the bottom. I didn't like that at all. Even with a 1K clear protecting it, it still scratched through and basically destroyed it. From there, I went to cardstock, and that's just sprayed with, I think there's 3 or 4 layers of 1K clear on that. But again, I don't really like the cardstock, just because when I place it on the cupboard, you can feel it scratching as you move it around. It's not that I mind, this is a pretty terrible cabinet. I ordered this DTF transfer paper, doing it as an experiment to see if I can get it onto this felt. I've got to cut it out and iron it on. It's just come as a sheet. You can buy it in all sorts of different sizes. Now, I didn't know before I ordered it, I didn't need the black background. I should have designed it without it, but I know that now for the future. I'll cut this out, and I have to go preheat the iron. It's cut up ready to go. So are the pieces of felt. I've got some scraps here and here, so I can give it a practice shot before I go into it. I'm going to do the Harley one when I do Harley. So it's just the Deadpool base today. So I've got no idea what's going to work for this. So I have a bunch of testers laid out. This way I can try to work out what works, what doesn't. So I'm currently set on cotton. My biggest concern is that this should be wool felt, and it may cause it to shrink. Okay, let's go. So I've just done it for 15 seconds. Gotta let it cool just a little bit. Peel away the film. Grab the baking paper, stick it on top. Another 15 seconds. It worked pretty good. I can see why you don't keep the black background though. That's going to end up looking like the entire base plate. Love it when it works first shot. Let's put these test patches away and we'll try our first one. That is now ready to be glued onto my base. Once it cools down, of course. Okay, base plates are on. What do you think? So they're just glued on with the 5-minute epoxy. I then used some very sharp blades to very carefully cut around the edges as close as I can get to the edges. And then I just used a lighter to singe the edges and clean them up a little bit. I was really scared that it would melt because I have melted felt before doing this, but it worked really well. Anyway, that's how it's done. Now I'm pretty happy with that, and being an experiment, it can only get better from here, I think. That is really nice. So thank you for watching if you've watched all the way through the end. Again, like and subscribe if you can, and again, leave a comment if there's anything you'd like me to try to explain. I know I'm not very good at it, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Bye.